We're looking for innovation, great design, and the next big idea. And I found something pretty interesting right here in Cleveland.
From New York to California, Denver to Ohio, design is everywhere. This series seeks out America's best and brightest design innovations, but only one can be crowned this season's winner.
Welcome to America by Design.
We've gathered an elite group of industry leaders at Deloitte Digital's New York Design Studio to decide which innovations will make it through to the final. The winning design will be revealed later this season.
Judging day is always a blast. I get to talk with my fellow judges, get to rub elbows with some of the best thinkers in the industry. And
we have to challenge each other. We have to really think hard to do something new, to do something innovative.
And do we fight about the decisions? I would say we creatively debate. Maybe it gets a bit heated, but it's from a good place.
It's fascinating actually to see the dynamics and the going back and forth.
But by not agreeing, we can have the right conversations. And I think that is the part that's really exciting.
True story, warm water was invented right here. More on that later. Let's get started with our first innovation.
Blinks is a modular gaming system that has a physical component and a software component.
And when you start out, you think it's just a game, but the more you watch it, the more you realize they've created an entire ecosystem.
And the idea of embedding a game in each of these tiles, but still each tiles can participate to another game, I think is pretty smart. I do have a little bit of a problem with the coin battery. It's not a very sustainable way, and it's going to have an impact on the environment. So that I really got hung up on.
Okay, so what's this? It's not a sushi roll. And inside are these curious digital tiles. It is, in fact, the future of in-person gaming. So, John, this is Blinks, right? How does it work?
So, Blinks is a brand new game system. Okay. You ever played Whack-A-Mole?
Yeah, of course.
You just double-click a piece to start, and then you gotta hit the red pieces whenever they pop up.
So, Blinks is for Whack-A-Mole?
No. Every single blink is its own game. So I'm gonna show you a game called Dark Ball. Dark Ball is like the Pong for Blinks.
Oh yeah, I know Pong.
So the way I load it up is I hold my blink for 3 seconds, and then you introduce it to the group, and it teaches each and every other blink how to play the game. And so in Dark Ball, you've got a ball at your end, and go ahead and hit it my way.
Okay, so I'm serving the ball. Oh, there it goes.
I gotta time my hit. The better my timing, the faster I shoot the ball off. But 2-player, you know, it's pretty straightforward. If I want to play 3-player, I just break it out like this. And if you want to play by yourself and practice, you can simply load it around like that.
Wow, you can just rearrange them just like that. So what's the limit?
There's no limit to the number of players you can play with. You can play, yeah, unlike an Xbox where you can only have like 8 controllers. Yeah. You could have 100 Blinks players, put them all together, and have some crazy tournament. The game system ships with 9 games. There are over 30 games on the game system, and there are over 800 developers in the community making their own games for the game systems.
Wait, so anybody can make a game for Blinks, is that right?
That's right. Blinks are open source, anybody can make their own games, and lots of people already have.
So Elizabeth, what are you designing here?
So I'm designing the art for a game developed by a community member. So we have the designers from all over the world. There are professional game designers, and we also have hobbyists who are just doing this for fun. So we take their game ideas and then we polish them up. We make the art for them and then we put it on the Blink.
Oh, cool. And I see you're using Adobe XD.
Yeah, so we use XD for our website in addition to all types of different graphics.
That's so great because I'm actually on the team at Adobe that works on XD. So, so thank you for using it.
Well, thanks for making XD.
So John, these are your prototypes.
That's right. So growing up, I played a bunch of games and I loved the feeling of like a chess piece, the weightiness of it in the hand. And with Blinks, I want to make sure I got all those details right, down to everything like the way it fits just in the knuckle of your hand. There's also a clickiness to the button, and one of my favorite things, the way the magnets click together. And in fact, I hired an industrial designer, Bill Cowles, to get all those little details just right. We also use the magnets to carry them in the sushi roll case.
Oh.
This is my very first prototype.
Whoa, it's really substantial. It's like the military grade version.
It was inspired by the iPad cover.
Oh, right.
But yeah, my first prototype was all metal. And so this is our latest development. Because there's so many games coming to Blinks so fast, we built an app for them. So instead of carrying 12 games in your pocket, you'll be able to carry over 100 with you.
It's fair to say that most digital experiences are pretty isolating, but Blinks really brings people together. It cuts across generations, and it's already built its own enthusiastic community. And with over 100,000 Blinks out there, I think John's really onto something.
The Digitalization Award highlights a design project that considers the impact of technology on the human experience and delivers a unique approach to problem solving in the digital age.
I'm looking for innovations that leverage technologies like machine learning or artificial intelligence to make the world a better place.
The Digitalization Award will be announced in the final episode of this season.
With Climber, we see not only is the form factor changing, but they're bundling in the instructor-led class paired with the smart technology. And so in this way, we're seeing a combined user experience that's greater than the product itself.
Denver is a city with a huge focus on health and wellness. So it's no surprise that a revolution in exercise equipment design is taking place right here, right now. Hey, Nat.
Hey, Carrie. Come on in. Welcome to Climber.
Psyched to be here. And this is cool. Some ride, some run, we climb. So why Climber?
So, you know, Climber started really as this great conversation between Avram, the other co-founder, and myself. We both had a great passion for the modality, but felt that the machine just was really letting people down in terms of what they could get from that experience. It was almost scary to people in gyms, right? They saw it and it was almost the torture device in the corner, right? People knew it as the incredible workout, but something they never really wanted to try.
Right.
A lot of it came from limitations of the structure of the machine and being able to put a connected fitness device on it, right? That wasn't really possible with the current design, as well as that pole staring 4 inches in front of your face just really makes it an isolating experience. Yeah, this is one of our first scale foam models of the actual product, and I built it in my backyard in Austin, Texas, actually.
Oh, nice.
Sketching is awesome, really gets a good sense of the form and shape, but when you start making things, you learn so much about proportions and dimensions and how it looks in real scale.
And I notice already, as we can see each other, right? There's not that center pole coming down.
That's it. Finally, you were able to actually see much more approachable design, and this was just the beginning of really that exploration of the physical shape.
It's not just about the product, it's about the brand. And I can tell that you're building something here.
Absolutely. You know, with our messaging and branding, we really wanted to carry a lot of the same ideology that went into designing the machine, right? The idea that the machine moves with the natural body posture and position. And that comes through in a lot of our imagery, messaging, and all of that. That just is a big part of who we are and what we want to communicate to our audience.
Can we take a closer look behind the curtain? Designer to designer?
Absolutely. Let's do it. As the design process goes, we went through, you know, tons of different iterations and sketches and processes to get to where we are today.
What were the challenges that you had to overcome?
Well, that's a great sketch when we talk about challenges, actually. It's one of the most complex areas of the machine that we spent a ton of time ideating around on how we could perfect, and I'll show you it. It's actually this ankle down here. What's really unique about it is it has to hold the full weight and support of up to a 350-pound person, right? All this cantilevered weight down here, and we managed to do it without showing any hardware or any of the robust mechanics that actually make up that joint. You know, one of the other big things was changing the design of the machine from that monorail single pole and pulling apart the mechanics into 2 separate sides and doing all of that while hiding a lot of the busy and the clutter and the technical things from the end user to make it simple and approachable. One of the things we really wanted to do is redesign the resistance system from the ground up, create magnetic resistance, which meant miniaturizing an eddy current brake, and have discrete resistance settings as opposed to just sort of an infinite scroll where you had to guess where you were at.
I can't wait to see the actual product in action. What's going on here? Noticing that people are starting to filter in.
That's it. Well, you're in luck. We're about to start a class.
You know, Carrie, what's so exciting about what you just got to experience is Climbers brought that experience now to the home. And it's as easy as just coming into the app, choosing the workout you want, and getting right into it. You're connected face-to-face with top instructors from all across the country. The big piece of the design was to make sure that it could fit seamlessly alongside all your other things and your aesthetic at home.
And also it's for everyone, it's accessible.
Absolutely.
Right? Home is the new gym, it's the new wellness space. And Climber is on the leading edge of this trend, using great design, innovation, and connectivity to elevate the experience, yes, pun intended, to new heights.
The Planet Innovation Bright Award returns for Season 2. Sam Lanyon from Planet Innovation will select one innovator from the series for entry into the exclusive PI Bright program.
We're seeing some great entrepreneurs with some excellent ideas, and this series, I'm expecting to see some really great challenging concepts that are going to revolutionize the markets they're targeting.
The winner of the Planet Innovation Bright Award will be announced in the final episode of the season.
So Jason, you're telling me that this device right here can help save 1 trillion gallons of water by 2030? Trillion with a T, is that right?
Not only that, it will take 2,000 tons of ocean recycled plastic out of the water.
Unbelievable. I can't wait to talk more about that later. But right now, let's get on to our next innovation.
The Game Changer is an application that aggregates all kinds of data and applies it to something of interest to people.
And I can tell you as a non-sports fan that I went into this thinking, whatever. But actually, it is fascinating the way that they've turned technology into something that enhances the fan experience.
It's a really interesting tool to drive deeper engagement into something that people are already very enthusiastic about. This could actually be a game changer.
After a tough year with no fans on site, in 2020, US Open crowds came roaring back to life in 2021. It was amazing. And the US Tennis Association and its technology partner IBM were ready with an amazing new fan experience that seamlessly blends data and design. I was one of those thousands of fans so excited to be back in the stands. And while I was here, I noticed some amazing and interesting new features on the US Open app and website. Hey, Sarah.
Hey.
Sarah, you were a top junior tennis player and you're also part of the IBM team.
I am.
And I noticed you're holding 2 rackets.
Want to go play?
Are you kidding? Arthur Ashe Stadium Center Court, of course.
So it all starts with the fan experience and how fans around the world want to experience the US Open with all the data that we have available to us.
Yeah, we're talking data and global.
Lots of data. So you, as the tennis fan, see tennis, we at IBM see data. And this year we unveiled a super cool new feature called the IBM Power Index.
Oh, Power Index, I like how that sounds.
So the IBM Power Index is an AI-generated ranking system that's used to assess a player's momentum. So we analyze things like recent performance, as well as what experts and pundits are talking about these players in the news to understand who's hot and who's not.
So you have any stats on me?
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. So that wasn't the only feature that you delivered.
Nope, we also built something called IBM Match Insights.
Match Insights.
IBM Match Insights are AI-generated fact sheets or cheat sheets that help fans get up to speed on every singles match throughout the tournament.
Sarah, what kind of technology are we actually talking about?
The US Open digital experience is powered by two key technologies, the hybrid cloud as well as AI.
Right.
The hybrid cloud allows us to weave together all of the US Open's different clouds to allow us to innovate faster. We also tap into the power of IBM Watson to gather data, analyze data, as well as pop out insights that could be of value to the fan.
Sarah, that is so interesting, but hey, we're here on center court. Let's take a selfie. DeAnna, talk about living the dream. I mean, thanks for letting me out on the court.
You are so very welcome. You know, typically we only let US Open champions play there.
Yeah, I've noticed. DeAnna, how do the US Open digital platforms enhance the fan experience?
While we can have 23,000 plus fans in Arthur Ashe Stadium, we have tens of millions of fans around the world. And for them to be able to fully understand and embrace and engage with the US Open, they are reliant on our US Open digital platforms, whether it's through usopen.org or the US Open app. Our fans can't get enough of player data. So the Match Insights, which is a new feature that we have been offering with IBM, is a fantastic fan enhancement.
Match Insights.
Match Insights. It allows our fans to actually look at what the head-to-head matchup is going to be from players. And with Watson AI, it pulls in all of these different data points, both based on past performance, as well as what might be talked about in the different media.
And the Power Index is also, I mean, it's amazing.
The Power Index is fantastic. Through AI, they are tracking the momentum of players to see what the probability is that they will both win and potentially become the next US Open champion. It's so important for us as a tournament to be able to deliver a best-in-class experience for our fans. And that is certainly what we're about. It's certainly what the partnership with IBM is all about. And really the innovation that they bring to our tournament is fantastic.
Jenna, you are the project lead on the US Open, and we're in your element, one of IBM's global design studios. How does design thinking put all of this together?
We use design thinking to collaborate in a lot of different ways, but we like to start with user needs, so you as a fan are a user, and how do we match those to USTA's business goals? We like to put ourselves in the shoes of the fans. What would you as a fan like to see? So we bring in data scientists, developers, user experience folks, and we create different personas and like to map out what a journey as a tennis fan would look like for you.
I thought you were asking me. I'm a fan, and as you can tell, my wheels are kind of spinning. Let me show you what I really like to kind of get into. I like to see how data can contribute to technique analysis. Like, you know, if you have a better footwork, let's say on your backhand, how does that translate to performance, for example?
Okay, so you like data. You like very structured. I like media commentary, which is unstructured data. What is being talked about, whether it is a written article, something in a blog.
Right.
So with the power of AI, we take unstructured and structured data to create our experiences, much like Match Insights and the Power Index.
I'd really like to see an actual example, like a player breakdown.
Let's look at the female players. So if we're looking at this trend as the tournament went on, she continued to rise through the Power Index.
And what about some insights? You know, some of the stuff that I like that.
Okay, the math,
the
right. The data.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you might really like this one.
Okay.
Throughout the tournament, her percentage of winners from her backhand was 38%.
What? That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes,
I mean, that's phenomenal.
That's what you like to see.
Yes.
So then we take something that you like and match that with something that I like, the unstructured, how do we find a pattern with that? And that's how we get our likelihood to win. So we predicted that she was gonna win the women's final, and she did.
Billy, AI is a term that's used a lot these days. Can AI, within the context of this project, actually learn?
It can. AI, as long as you feed it with data and you provide sort of the roadmap of how it should interpret that data, derive the insights at scale, it can absolutely learn and improve over time.
So when you look at a sport like tennis, I mean, this is an ideal scenario, right, to apply this technology.
Absolutely. We're able to track all the data points, derive some insights, and then personalize it and publish it out to tens of millions of people around the world.
So Sarah, before we get back into it, I've got one question. This must be an absolute dream job.
I mean, it's amazing. I could have never imagined growing up that I'd be standing in Arthur Ashe Stadium talking about how we build digital experiences to connect fans around the world.
Looking at sports, they are a great unifier, and we need that right now.
We really do, and we use these key technologies to find new ways to connect people and build communities around people with similar passions.
Although we're talking about tennis here, this is really about a much bigger idea. Harnessing the power of design thinking, and technology to engage. Whether it's business, an event, the sky's the limit.
Deloitte Digital is proud to present the Human Experience Award, celebrating a project that brings authenticity, humanity, and vulnerability to the forefront of design.
So I recently wrote a book called Elevating the Human Experience, The 3 Paths to Love and Worth at Work. So for this award, we're looking for the design that makes the most humans feel loved and worthy.
The Deloitte Digital Human Experience Award will be announced in the final episode of the season.
I was very impressed with Nebbia by Moen Spa Shower. I love how they utilized less water in a unique way.
They're on this quest to save all of this water, and they've really thought through the whole problem.
You know, when people think about shower heads, they don't think necessarily about design.
So instead of saying, here's this thing, it's good for the environment, you're not going to enjoy it, but do it anyway, they're turning it into an experience, a whole end-to-end experience that people actually want.
Let's talk about Al Moen. Back in the 1940s, you used to have 2 taps for water in your house. One for hot, the other for cold. Well, right here in Cleveland, Al Moen invented a valve that allowed you to mix warm water and have it come out of a single faucet. That's the kind of innovative thinking that Moen, the company, brings to their latest innovation. Oh, and by the way, this is gonna get pretty steamy. So Jason, Moen is one of the biggest faucet manufacturers in the US, right?
We're actually the biggest.
I stand corrected, whoa. So what are all these torture devices around us?
This is our reliability and testing lab. We cycle test and stress test all of our faucets to make sure that they can last the lifetime that they are warranted for.
And today we're just talking about shower heads.
We are. We're really excited about this great new partnership we have with Nebbia. They provided this atomizing nozzle technology that we've integrated into our showers.
So Gabe, you're a man on a mission.
We're a company on a mission. In partnership with Moen, we hope to save 1 trillion gallons of water by 2030.
I've heard this, remarkable. How are you doing it?
We use a technology called atomization that breaks up streams of water into smaller droplets. A traditional shower has holes that are like cylinders, and you can control the spray only by changing the diameter of that cylinder and the back pressure of water. With Nebbia, we have complex 3-dimensional shapes inside our nozzles that take a regular stream of water and break it apart into a very particular pattern. It has smaller droplets that are enveloping, that can still rinse shampoo and soap off your body and feel great.
Yeah, because you're not really going to save all that water with a sort of thou shalt not approach.
Absolutely not. There has been low flow showers for years. People install them, they try them, they hate them, and then they throw them away. We knew from day one, if we wanted to save a truly measurable amount of water, that we would have to make a shower that was a better experience as well as save water.
So this is your first draft?
Yeah, this is Generation 1 Nebbia that we launched in 2015.
Okay, so where does Moen fit in?
We partnered with Moen to take this technology, married with their design, engineering, supply chain skills, to make a more ubiquitous shower.
And who's this guy?
This is Manny. He has 40 thermocouples all over him, and he showers a couple dozen times a day.
You got a great job, Manny.
Jason, what was the brief on this?
So we had 2 major goals with this initiative. One was to reduce the complexity down from 220 parts.
It's a lot of parts for a shower head.
Indeed, and to reduce the cost to make it more affordable. This is an example of part reduction where we merged 10 parts into one with an aluminum extrusion, all machined at once.
Nice.
Another is the magnetic dock. The original Nebbia had 6 rare earth magnets in their dock that allowed it to be opposable showerhead. We reduce it down to 1, and we put that magnet in the handheld, and you can still position it and have the same experience.
And I assume that big part of this part reduction was all about getting the cost down so it could actually go into as many homes as possible? Absolutely.
The original Nebia cost over $600 retail, and this system here is $160.
So Jessica, what's this setup?
So this is our ergonomic testing tool that we were able to 3D print in our lab downstairs.
Nice, it's so cool to be able to make these things on site. What were you testing for?
So actually the Nebia nozzles feel the most comfortable when they're 2 inches to 7 inches above the user's head. And we knew we wanted to serve a wide range of users, from the lowest demographic to the tallest demographic. So that meant we needed at least 17 inches of vertical adjustability. And we wanted to make sure that that experience was intuitive and comfortable for the user. So this tool helped us test a few different styles for this sliding dock. And we first tested a few different concepts like this one that looked really good on paper, but in the end, this is the one that felt the most comfortable and intuitive.
And wow, that's a pretty smooth action you got there.
That was something we really wanted to preserve, was that buttery, smooth, intuitive, height adjusting experience. So the cool part is you don't have to only adjust it here. You can actually step under it, and as you're showering, you can adjust the height further without having to interrupt that spa experience.
Nice. So here it is installed, but Jason, do I need a plumber to get this in my house?
Absolutely not. If we're gonna save 1 trillion gallons of water, it has to be as easy as possible. There's a little button on the top of the spine there. If you push that, it'll show you how easy it is to remove and install.
That is pretty easy, and I see there's no additional hole that needs to be drilled here.
Absolutely not. If you just take your shower arm, your standard shower arm out, you replace it with that gasket, plug it in, turn the water on, you're good to go.
Can't get any simpler than that. Let's check out that buttery action that Jessica was telling me about.
So nice.
That is nice. So that's what we have for a shower install, but what if you have a tub shower?
If you have a tub shower, you're gonna love our Nebia Quattro.
And I noticed there's no body sprayer with this one?
No, so it just has this dockable handheld and it's magnetically connected. And this also has 4 different spray modes for the shower experience of your choice.
Nice, I love that. So can I give this thing a test drive?
I think we can make that happen.
This feels better than a regular shower. I love that we don't have to sacrifice our shower experience while we're saving all that water. And that's what good design is all about. It brings you innovation seamlessly. Excuse me.
IBM is proud to again present the Empower Award. This award celebrates a diverse design team that delivers an innovative and inclusive product that's accessible to all users and audiences.
I'm looking for a team that has a project that really gets at the heart of the idea of equity. You know, design has a ton of power. We might as well harness that power to make a difference. And honestly, that's what the Empower Award is all about.
The winner will be announced in the final episode of the season.
You remember the Blinks story we looked at earlier in this episode? Well, they use 3D printing in their design process. Let's double click on that and learn a bit more about 3D printing. Now they've sent us their files, take 3D printing to the next level with their Blinks. So these are the real Blinks, and all of these are actually 3D printed at Stratasys. These parts are actually soft and they have textures on top, so you can get that tactile feedback. We also want to try different colors. So what would it look like if we had an orange blink or a blink that had gradient, and then also testing form, fit, and function. So printing out their different components separately, and then we can test fitting them together to make sure their designs work for manufacturing. And finally, the Blinks team wanted a box to hold all these Blinks as you're collecting these games. The team wants to eventually make this box out of cork, so we 3D printed it to look like cork, and then you can store all of your Blinks inside.
Our design industry leaders have been busy reviewing and selecting the best innovations. Stay tuned to find out which projects from this episode will move forward for a chance to win it all in the final.
Fixed health is a story about an entrepreneur who is in Boston who had a terrible health crisis.
What we're doing in this project is we're trying to remove all of those harmful additives that we typically apply to packaged food and really provide healthier snacks and food in a form that's really accessible.
Because if you say like, oh no, you have to go buy a carrot and then you have to peel it yourself, then that's not appealing. It can't just be healthy. It also has to have a sensual aesthetic quality. And in this case, that aesthetic quality is not only the food itself, but it's the packaging.
I have 3 children. In my house, chocolate chip cookies and oatmeal raisin cookies are considered 2 different food groups. My 11-year-old daughter, she takes a chocolate chip muffin to school in her lunchbox nearly every day. Increasingly, it's a battle, not just in my home, but in the world, to make good choices that also taste good for you. Isn't that right, Sung? Why is this so important to you?
Well, you know, Amelia, about 5 years ago, I had emergency open heart surgery.
Wow.
And man, that was not fun at all. And afterwards, I'm talking to my doctor and he said, you gotta start eating healthier. And I said, well, there's one problem. I don't really like vegetables.
Don't tell that to my children.
So I realized how unhealthy my food was and my diet choices. I would drink 2 cans of this soda every day. And there's a ton of sugar in here. Why don't you spoon in how much sugar you think is actually in one of these cans of soda?
Okay.
And just keep count. And as I started looking at all the other foods I was eating, I would eat these cookies, which I love, but a serving of these cookies has about 22 grams of carbs and about 15 grams of sugar. These gummies had 15 grams of sugar. And you're really not supposed to get more than 9 teaspoons at all for an entire day.
I'm at 9.
Oh, keep going. And when you get to 14, you can stop because that's how much sugar is in one of these. And I was taking 2 of these a day. And so way too much sugar. So at that point, I decided to start Fix Health with Stacy. And our motto was, we put good stuff in fun stuff.
So you don't just take this sugar out, you put good stuff back in.
That's correct. So we take things like probiotics and fiber and vitamins and minerals and vegetables, and we hide them in low carb, low sugar snacks like cookies and candies.
So should I tell my children about this?
No, don't tell them about the vegetable part.
Hey Stacy, I see cookies.
Hey, come on over, yes. I was hearing earlier what you were saying about how your kids just absolutely love cookies. But these cookies are actually healthy and good for you.
So chocolate chip cookies, but wait, what's a phytosterol?
So it's a compound that's naturally found in plants, but it actually helps keep our cholesterol levels in check.
Awesome, yummy.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the other ones? So you have other flavors?
Yes, absolutely. And they all have different benefits. So if you're interested in gut health, we've got some with probiotics. And then these double chocolate cookies have calcium. So I don't know about you, but I'm not a big fan of those huge calcium supplements.
Totally.
And instead of that, you could be eating these cookies.
Yummy, so chocolate chip. My daughter will like this one.
Oh, awesome.
Well, what else do you have here?
Oh, these powders are drink mix-ins, and they all help with different issues. This one is amazing. This is for immunity.
Okay.
And I can't think of a more important topic at this moment than immunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
This one has lots of key vitamins and minerals like zinc, selenium, elderberry, and echinacea, which all are really good for our immune system.
That's really good.
These are fun. These are gummies, and there's almost an entire serving of carrots in that pack.
Wait, so this is carrots?
Yes, it tastes a little more like orange.
Okay.
But it has fiber and carrots, but there is low sugar, low carb. We're using like monk fruit and other healthy sweeteners.
Awesome, I'm gonna put this in my daughter's lunchbox.
Oh, she's gonna love it.
So my kids are gonna really like those cookies. But tell me more, what was the design challenge you were solving for?
The really hard thing was to simultaneously solve for making it fun, affordable, and effective. And so when we say fun, we mean it tastes good.
Yes, it does.
Right? Affordable means that everyone can afford it. It's $1 or $2 per serving. And effective means we're adding things like fibers and proteins and vitamins and minerals. It took us about 2 years to accomplish this.
Wow, that's a long time.
It was a lot of cookies.
A lot of times when we think about design, we think about product innovation. One of the things I like about what Fix is doing is they're bringing together 2 categories, the food and beverage industry and the health and well-being industry, both of which are ripe for disruption.
Salesforce is proud to present the Relationship Design Award. This award highlights one innovative project that promotes positive change, fosters human connection, and drives social impact.
We're looking to celebrate those design ideas that bring people together and looking at the ways in which those things impact and have a rippled impact on communities, on society, and on the environment.
The Relationship Design Award will be announced in the final episode of the season. Time to find out which innovations from this episode are going through to the final.
Yeah, this one really resonated with a lot of people. It looks like a game that maybe came from the future. It's a little abstract until you start working with it and playing with it, and then all of a sudden it unfolds into all these possibilities.
I loved seeing Nivea by Moen make it to the top 10. Their spa shower was super innovative. Installation was so impressive and so simple. Their design was so elegant.
They really thought through the whole process there and did everything right. Such a great innovation.
Which project do you think could win the American Standard People's Choice Award? Vote for your favorite by telling us in 15 words or less why your pick should win the season. One entry will be chosen to win a prize from the luxurious Studio S collection by American Standard. Just scan the QR code on the screen or go to AmericaByDesignTV.com and cast your vote in the American Standard People's Choice Award. Good luck.
Congratulations to those amazing innovations that made it through to the final, including Moen from right here in Cleveland. Join us next time for more innovation on America by Design.